Hi everyone, how are you? I hope you're having a lovely day. I am Kate in Fantasyland, and this is the Bookworm Challenge, where I have to do and read absolutely everything in Genshin Impact. And today I am doing very bookwormy things. I am going to read so many books, and I'm going to read them from the Imaginarium Theater. Let me just check very quickly if I can hear myself. Okay, everything is fine. So, okay. I'm a huge lore fan, and I started this challenge mostly because I wanted to really sit down and read through everything. I went a bit overboard wanting to read absolutely everything because I'm crazy, but I am definitely going to do very cool things today. So the Little Witch and the Undying Fire, I have not read these books ever, so it will be very interesting to read through them. And I've already... I didn't claim my rewards yesterday. What is wrong with me? Okay. Let me claim these ones. And what was the other one that I need to read? Aside from the Little Witch? The Feline Firm. It's so white outside. Paimon can't see a thing. Something. Okay, I've talked with everyone here. Oh, there's one more here. 2 more. Oh my, there's so many books. That's awesome. Okay, this one. Have I missed anything? Yes. Okay, I think I have everything. No, I don't. Okay. I think now this is everything. So, what? How is there always something that is left? Okay. Is this everything? I think so. Okay. Let's go. No, not character archive. There we go. So there are 2 collections that I need to go through today. I think I would prefer to read The Little Witch and the Undying Fire. 7 volumes? Seriously? Okay, let me just make a note. Oh my, I didn't start my timer. Okay, I've practically done almost nothing, so it's fine. Okay. Okay, let's begin. Oh, Waffle, how are you? I'm so happy to see you. What's in town? Lots of books. Okay, today will be a very, very lore-heavy episode. Okay, I've never read these books before, so it will be very interesting. Let's go. I have to be ready. This will be a lot of reading, 7 volumes. Okay. Volume 1. This is the story of a little witch who journeyed far and wide to find the undying fire. The story begins as such in the westernmost part of the magic continent, where a young witch was undergoing her witch certification and final trial. As per convention, one need only pass this trial to qualify as a true witch. Chocolate waffle or waffle with jam? Definitely chocolate. I love chocolate. Okay. Interesting. Now that we have the Hex and Zirco trios, this is very interesting to see that it appeared so early. Okay. The trio required lots to be drawn, and the results were completely random, a format which resulted in frequent accidents. But the magic continent was nothing if not firm in its adherence to tradition. And so, if you would believe it, they've stuck to the rules of drawing lots for trials since the very most ancient of times. There is a law in the outside world known as Morphy's Law. That's how you write it, right? Anyway, it means that bad things you worry about happening are probably going to happen. And thus did a completely unsurprising surprise strike the little witch. Some little witches got very simple tasks. Stuff like synthesizing the final solution to the material world, the Philosopher's Stone, or bringing back Baleen from a titanic, universe-roaming whale, or perhaps figuring how to get to a parallel universe to find a no longer extant grimoire lost to a great ancient magical war, and so on and so on. But our main protagonist drew a topic of terrible, troubling tribulation: to find and bring back the undying fire. Perhaps her honored teacher might have an opinion on this subject. Her teacher was just enjoying a most wonderful tea time with her friends, and she comforted her student. It must be because you're fated to become a really great witch. So, your topic's a little harder than most. Unsolved mysteries are the most interesting after all. Really? That's right. When you come back, I'll be sure to welcome you with a tea party. One lovelier than this one even. The teacher's friends whispered to her, "Hey now, isn't that a bit much? He obviously only made up that question because you couldn't be bothered to think up a real exam question. If such a thing even existed, we'd have perpetual motion machines by now, don't you think? Couldn't you have done something else? You know, made her prove the grand unified theory based on the unified electroweak theory or something?" Oh, don't you worry. Life is full of a great many lies. The teacher spoke brazenly. And I did not lie, did I? I know that the undying fire does indeed exist. That blazing star. Hang on. When did I see it again? Must have forgotten. The teacher spun around to her pupil, saying, "Considering that your trial is indeed quite challenging, you shall have 3 times the normal amount of time to complete it. I'll be rooting for you." Interesting. Murphy's Law is definitely not spelled like this. First of all. And second of all, undying fire. I mean, it is the title of the book here, but what are they talking about exactly? Okay, let me just write down. Okay. This is actually very... I expected it to be much longer. Okay, each volume is actually... I was about to say that each volume is very short, but no. Okay. Volume 2. Deep in the woods, nighttime. The little witch soared upon her broom beneath the blood-green moon. Blood-green was regarded as a symbol of great change in astrology. though whether such change be for good or ill cannot be determined by any result. Actually, that shade symbolizes the dominant race of this world, the Nephilim. They were the children of gods and humans, and so their blood, too, was the conflux between the red blood of humanity and golden divine blood. And actually, the green moonlight was the result of the moon's physical composition, the distance between the planet and its moon, atmospheric scattering, and other factors. Anyway, so the little witch was soaring upon her broom beneath the blood-green moon, and then she met a young lady who claimed to be a fortune teller. "I wish to become a witch's familiar," said the young lady. But before they could even consider that, the little witch had something to ask. "Can fortune tellers read the skeins of fate?" The fortune teller then explained the underlying principles. Put simply, it's something like this. In our world, the stars are the heavenly strings by which humans are bound. But in other worlds, the subjects of astrological study are the solar ecliptic energies, the various lunar energies of the satellites, the will energy of the celestial rulers of the planets, the scattered interference energy of distant stars, and the dark energy that suffuses the pitch-black cosmos. Of course, it's not like these things don't exert influence on our planet. They have merely been greatly weakened by a giant sky shroud. As such, astrology on other worlds is far more abstract than that which is practiced in ours. By the way, other planets refer to an actual celestial bodies as an Archon, and a theorized one as a virtual. The planet the little witch was on was no exception. You see, we also call a wheel that comes down from the heavens an Archon. They are normally planets that have sentient life on them, and they number 7, and therefore they are called the 7 Archons. As for the virtuals, their number varies between 1, 2, and 4. The planet the little witch was one may well have been one, and in the case of such a world, the virtual would be the dark sun. Astrologists and diviners are, in essence, performing weight calculations on the sky shroud, the cosmos, and the Archon and virtual celestial bodies, before deducing individual developmental tendencies from world to world. But the relative weight of the sky shroud over our planet is just way too great. And so, investigating it already allows us to obtain very precise results. As for the world the little witch and astrologist were on, they would have to go through the entire formula. Through the entire formula is what I wanted to say. I don't know where I saw it, but recently I saw, I think it was a thumbnail. I never watched it actually, but it was something about a black sun. I guess that's where the theory comes from. In terms of Teyvat, although, how would that work? Like, the sun that we see currently is the fake sun, and I've always been wondering though, can that sun actually do the things that the sun is supposed to do? Like, a sun is supposed to give light and warmth so everyone can grow? Can it do that? Or do plants get their energy from somewhere else on Teyvat? Maybe they're all connected to Irminsul in some way? I have no idea. Anyway, after the little witch finished listening, she was very impressed by the fortune teller's learning and technique. Now they could speak of the matter of familiarhood. To be a witch's familiar was to share in her magic, and with magic, one could peer into more destinies. That said, becoming a familiar could have unforeseen side effects. It was hard to say what might happen. Yes, that's what the blood-green moon means. Great change, which can't be judged as good or ill by outcome. See how it all comes together? We didn't go off topic. This is written by Nicole. This is written by Nicole. It is. This is how she speaks. Volume 2 is definitely by her. Okay. Where was I? Okay. It's a shame that I'm still not a great witch. I can't make you my familiar yet, said the little witch. I know of another way to establish a contract with a witch. It seems we must resort to using it, said the young lady. This was the night bathed in blood-green moonlight, and it was also, coincidentally, the Witches' Night Carnival. By the way, the Night Carnival is an ancient taboo ceremony. Legend has it that at such times, the witches' magical powers are at their apex. They hold rituals in secret, offering sacrifices and keeping the bonfires burning through the night. This tradition had been forgotten in the westernmost parts of the magical continent, but, for some reason, it had been revived within the deep woods. Normally, this was an event that only great witches or figures greater still could be invited to, or invite others to attend. In practice, though, participation in a carnival had a direct relation with a witch's romantic or marital status. In any case, for some totally unknown reason, the astrologist knew all about witches, while the witch knew nothing about astrologists at all. The point is, they decided to go and check out the night carnival. Let's just go with it, being a way to deal with the anxiety the little witch felt over not being able to find the undying fire. Under the blood-green moon, the great witches danced around the bonfire. The little witch and the young astrologist hid in the shadows of trees that grew so thick that even dense clouds couldn't compare, and even the bonfire could not illuminate them. We just need to wait till the day after the ancient forbidden night of revelry, when the dawn light first breaks and the various great witches depart. In the grey embers will be a flame that never dies. When a mortal takes this flame and offers it up, that is equivalent to signing a contract with a witch, said the young lady. Does this method always work? The little witch asked. It's possible a witch could reject the contract, but witches do so love their spirit mediums, and I'm not afraid of becoming a fearsome creature, the young lady replied, her voice thick with yearning. In that case, isn't this an undying fire? Dark thoughts came into the little witch's mind. What if I took that flame for my own? And so, under the blood-green moonlight, the great witches sang their song. If all things a witch's opera be, if all things a witch's opera be, then nothing true worth mourning would the world ever see. Our festival has come to a fruitful end. The story shall not stay its feet, and every night hence shall also be the witch's night. A sense of shame surged forth within the little witch as she listened from the shadows. It wasn't out of worry that those present, great witches and greater still, might include her teacher, school principal, instructors, or anything like that. She knew everyone at her school, and she was sure no one familiar was present. By the way, while the official rules at the school she attended were lax when it came to governing teachers and their students, students of similar age would still be ranked against each other. Students of different teachers were also permitted to interact outside of classes. The creation of this system could be traced back to the rise of the Western witches long ago. They did not shy away from exchanging secret hexes and rituals for their mutual benefit, which would also result in their swift rise in those days. Of course, the organization that the little witch belonged to was a direct successor of these Western witches. Also, this blurb and definitely wasn't just added in here because I forgot about this world building earlier. Back to the story. She said to the fortune teller, "Since we have this opportunity, go bravely forth then. Once dawn comes, take that fire. If you should be so unfortunate as to become a monster, I'll give you a quick end, and you will not suffer." As a gift to commemorate this friendship, the young lady gave her treasured crystal bowl to the little witch. This crystal bowl feels joy for all known destined paths, and its heart breaks for all unrevealed tragedies. If you ever feel lost, allow it to be your oracle. Actually, there is a story behind this crystal bowl. Oh, poor Nicole. This is definitely Nicole. No one else speaks like her. Poor thing, she couldn't continue on and on forever like she wants to. Hello, Pikachu. How are you today? I hope you're having a lovely day. Ah, poor Nicole. Okay. I don't know who wrote the first volume. So, anyway, volume 3. In her travels, the little witch encountered a group of people getting ready to kill demon kings. She decided to join them and go kill some demon kings. They told her, "The more demon kings you kill, the greater your witch's power will grow." This is, in fact, true. Sorry, I was looking at chat and got lost concentration. My voice is like a Genshin character. Thanks. Okay. Killing demons, more power. Very good. Then they encountered a mimic demon king. After this whole affair, the little witch would write a demon king slaying chronicle each time she hunted one. Oh, my own banner. If I were a real Genshin character, I would be a 4-star. Okay. No distractions. Okay. They encountered the mimic demon king in a rundown old house. At first, no one knew what was going on, assuming that the place had just gone moldy. After breathing the mold spores in, her companions turned into the following respectively. A shoddy-looking ancient robot, which the little witch found really ugly and not up to snuff when compared to alchemy. A beautiful young maiden. This team member was originally male, leading the witch to initially wonder if this was some inversion of biological sequential hermaphroditism. And a pirate. She had no idea about this one. After some time, everyone in the squad developed identity disorders, considering that her 3 companions appear to be of the same species. They should not have exhibited such different natures, while the symptoms were, by contrast, so similar. No, not 5-star anime character, no! I don't want my loved ones to die. Thank you very much, but no thank you. Okay. She tried ingesting parts of it, finding it to be edible and without any side effects. Thus, it might have been a miscategorization to call it a mold, but since the mold in the blue mold cheese could also be eaten, she decided to continue using that label. Something worth noting was that after a chunk had been cut away, the other mold threads would immediately disappear, possibly a sign of a rudimentary collective intelligence. To facilitate further communication, the little witch wanted to turn into mold, and so she did. As it turned out, the mold colony only sent strange biological signals that needed deciphering. Through repeated observations, it seemed that their level of collective intelligence might be lower than she had previously thought. In the end, the mold committed suicide. The little witch deciphered its way of communicating communications, and as it turned out, the colony experienced dissonance in self-perception and self-dissociation when it looked upon the little witch who had become just like them. The signals they sent had in fact been philosophical speculation. Who is me? And who am I? Its intelligence was thus much higher than expected. Her friends recovered and told the little witch that this was the mimic demon king. It was a species of demon king in the same taxonomic class as standard demon kings, but not in the same order. It was a shame. She wished she had a chance to observe more and make some more records. Animo is the coolest element? Yeah, but I don't want people to die. Electro? If I'm like Chlorant, that would be nice. Okay, I'm not as cool as her, I'm sorry. What am I reading? What is this? Which? Which of the witches wrote this about the mold? Please. I think you have problems. It was Rhine Daughter, wasn't it? I wouldn't be surprised. Okay. Then, they encountered a chipmunk demon king, which her comrades had claimed beforehand was also a species of demon king. It was classified as belonging to the same class and superorder as a standard demon king, but was part of a different grand order. The chipmunk demon king looked very fierce indeed, and the little witch suspected that this aggressiveness stemmed from behaviors acquired during the gestation period and while nurturing their offspring. My mind is starting to break. I look for a second at chat and I think about elements and then return to the very, very weird book. Dendro? Dendro is not bad. Nahida is awesome. I like a lot of Hydro characters too. I don't know. All the elements are kinda nice. I love Animo as well. I'm just not keen on getting people to die for me to get an Animo vision. That's the only thing. Okay. Weird book. This is definitely Rhine Daughter's work. Okay. Infiltrating its old nest, they found that it was male. one of her companions was eaten. It turned out that it simply had a bad temper. The little witch decided to report the findings of this investigation to prevent the tragedy from repeating itself. They attempted to feed the chipmunk demon king seeds to lure it out. They lost another companion in the process. It seemed that this creature was not a vegetarian at all. Her final companion fled, having deduced from the pattern of events thus far that he was next on the chopping block. This was an incomplete logical induction. Both the process and conclusion were mistaken. Eventually, she used high-grade boar meat to lure the chipmunk demon king into a trap. The creature's fat and fur made it resilient to fire and freezing. Though she had never dissected one, results indicated that it also had an organ, enabling it to breathe underwater. A complete vacuum was used to dispatch it in the end. It seems that it still required aerobic respiration. Hi CJ, and I guess bye. Have a lovely day as well. I'll see you another time. And being the traveler, using Animo without vision. Okay, I'll be honest with you. When I started in the beginning, I played a lot with the traveler, and I really liked the character. But recently the traveler is becoming so self-sure, a bit arrogant, and I don't connect with them at all. Okay, last part of this thing. Many demon kings seem very powerful, but they all have their weaknesses. The same is true for alchemical life forms. Finally, the little witch had to face a standard demon king, a great demon king of the primate order. This was definitely written by Rhine-daughter, and it's just so weird. She has some very serious problems, honestly. Oh my god. I love Nicole's one, but this one, unfortunately, it's just so weird for me. Okay, never mind. Volume 4. Okay. So, the little witch found the great demon king. I'm sure you all remember that defeating more demon kings causes witches to grow stronger. As such, the little witch was actually already amazingly powerful now. The great demon king was simply no match for her. Can you really kill a being that looks like a human and has intelligence? Shouted the great demon king in desperation. You're right. I didn't really intend to do anything to you anyway, said the little witch. I've never forgotten that my goal... Wait, what? This is still the little witch. Okay. I've never forgotten that my goal is to find the undying fire. Researching, observing, and defeating demon kings was never even a means to an end, but rather just the building of a basic level of power. Then she used... Sorry, I don't know magic or mysticism. Some super powerful, awesome technique to bind the great demon king and brought it back to the largest nearby city. As trainee of the Western witches who had come out to take her exam, she naturally had credentials that proved her identity. This proved her convenient passage through the many mortal kingdoms. Such things were also proven to be immensely hard to forge, thus avoiding the possibility of any cliché plotlines. This actually presented the mayor of the city with a conundrum. Ah, yes, this is a good time to say that this nation was a loose confederacy. And since this was a mayor, there was no aristocracy or hereditary titles, for the handling of this great demon king was truly quite tricky. I am sure you all remember that the dominant race of this planet was the Nephilim, a hybrid of humans and gods. Right, so the race of Great Demon King is actually the Demon King class. And so, Demon Kings were thus a type of Nephilim. And of course, since they were the dominant race, this meant that Nephilim were on the whole much stronger than normal humans. And since this setting for this world has hybrids of humans and gods, this meant that it had gods too. And taking a step back, the Nephilim also had a certain degree of legal immunity. If they had killed 5 humans or fewer, they couldn't be judged by human laws and had to be repatriated to Nephilim lands. And as it happened, this great demon king had only stolen and eaten several thousand boars and chickens each. That's logic. So this was fast turning into a diplomatic and political issue. Of course, the mayor could just take the Western witches with all the blame, but that would offend every witch on the continent. Plus, the mayor was also a good friend of the little witch. She would never do anything that would hurt the organization of witches as a whole. Following some diplomatic rhetoric, some policies to appease it, and an explanation of the pros and cons, the captured Great Demon King accepted that retribution should only be exacted on the party who had done the wrong, meaning that his ire was now narrowed down to the little witch alone. But he could not defeat her, so that was the end of that, really. Finally, I hope everyone remembers that crystal ball, because the little witch's goals had become foggy at this stage, so she decided to take it out and have a look at it. This book is all over the place. It's kinda awesome, but it is all over the place. I think it's Rhindaughter's fault. She introduced all these Demon King and things, and then they had to incorporate them into the story, and it became complicated. That's just the thing. It's all her fault. Wait, I just read Volume 4. Volume 5. A familiar face surfaced in the crystal ball. This is your magic teacher speaking. The trial is over. You were unable to obtain your witch license. No! This volume is tragic. Absolutely tragic. At least it's not, sometimes when you get a rejection letter for something, they write like a 1,000-word essay about how they're very sorry, but they've gone with someone else. And this one is at least concise and to the point. I don't think that makes it better, but it is what it is. Okay. Volume 6. The little witch hurried to where her teacher was. She wanted to question her teacher face to face about why the test had ended and why she was not permitted to become a witch. She wanted to throw things to the ground in front of her teacher, Though of course she would only chuck the ones that could survive the impact, and that she could practically lift herself while avoiding her teacher's favorite teacup. Of course, should the situation warrant it, she was even willing to smash her own second favorite teacup to show how serious this all was. After all, she'd bought that one herself rather than it having been given to her by her friends. She valued such gifts as much as the friends themselves and would never use them as part of an emotional outburst. That's what being a grown-up is, I guess. Application rejected. Reason get good, kiddo. Definitely. Honestly, if I'm the one getting rejected, I would prefer to get this rather than, a whole essay about how they're very sorry and all kinds of spinning of tales that are not important at all. You get rejected, you get on with your life, or throw your second favorite teacup to the ground, I guess. Octavia is back to catch up with her. That was what her teacher said calmly the moment they saw each other again. In an instant, the emotions that the little witch had stored up, brewed, fermented, plotted, and rehearsed, pouring out countless times, vanished. Octavia was a good friend of hers, and a good friend also of the legendary old witch. Her home had been destroyed, but as she lacked the courage to fight back, she had taken up a life of eternal wandering. She had seen many worlds and had told the little witch many tales about the sky beyond the sky. The entire cosmos is going to die soon. Things peaked but not long ago and are about to go south very fast. Octavia was sitting in a yard, swathed in flowing sunlight, pouring tea into the teacups she and the little witch loved most. The little witch pulled a chair up and sat in it. "You returned so suddenly," she said. "We didn't even prepare a chair for you. You're probably sitting in the old witch's chair now." "Many stars across the cosmos have gone out. I do not know how much time is left," Octavia said. "So I wanted to come back to see you." Is that why my teacher and the others stopped all the witch tests? Because you came back and told them this?" the little witch asked. "Perhaps. In such a world, all things lose meaning, and there is no longer any need for you to become a witch." "Then I shan't be angry at my teacher any longer," the little witch said. "But will you be mad at me? I caused you to lose your chance to become one," O said. "I will, if you never return after leaving this time," came the little witch's reply. "I'll go to the bedroom to get your chair." "I can just sit in that old witch's chair, can't I? She's too old to get up and come sit in it nowadays." "That's no good. That chair is hers, just as your chair is yours," the little witch argued her case earnestly with all. "To each person a chair. That way, even if they are not present, their memories will be seated still. So we absolutely can't use the wrong chairs." Octavia smiled helplessly. "Oh, Waffle, yeah. That's exactly what I hate the most with rejection things, especially at this time. Thank you very much. There won't be another time. Goodbye." is what I would say to them. Okay. And by way of apology for interrupting the process of the little witch becoming a proper one, she gave the latter a piece of news. So, the undying fire really exists. It may be found at... Dun dun dun! They don't say where. Too bad, too bad. Okay. Last volume from here. I'm getting tired. Okay. Volume 7. As she was buffeted by the waves of time, passing through the vortex where countless casualties converged, piercing countless threads of the weave, she missed a great many things. Even the memorial of the great witch she had so admired ended deserted without her in attendance. Whatever they were, the point is that the little witch passed through all manner of haphazard trials and challenges and nonsensical stuff before she managed to arrive before the old witch. Actually, it's just that the little witch didn't think those experiences were worth talking about, nor did she know why anyone bothered spilling so much ink about all that earlier stuff. When all was said and done, the most important things were the witch's tea party and the goal she was pursuing. In truth, she had already seen it before her journey began. In a sky as dark as a sack of coal, or perhaps a cavern, for us, as we all know, there is no difference between the two. There hung a star, giving off a weak radiance, resisting the world's darkness as it encroached on every side. As the universe gradually grew dim, and all stars and stars known as suns were extinguished one by one, everyone agreed to call it the Star of Scorpio. The little witch remembered hearing about this during the witch's tea party, but she only remembered the name and nothing else. Anyway, the little witch came before the old witch, who was actually the Star of Scorpio, that which burned still, even at the end of all things. However, her flame was very weak now, barely a faint ember. The little witch held her hand, which had become as dry and brittle as a withered branch. She remembered that the old witch was once a little witch as well, with pale and tender hands that once elegantly held teacups. Those same hands had been used to bring forth much magic, kindling the flames on many worlds. The little witch said, "Looks like everyone doesn't want the flame to go out. And I get it. It can't be helped. The last time we said farewell, you were there too. The witches said that long-lived witches would lose many things as the years went by. Life, death, love, and hate would cease to have much meaning. But that isn't true. Those are just words they used to comfort the companions who departed before them. Witches, in fact, treasure every infinitesimal flame and light that shines in this dark world, bereft of hope all the more. They hold even the shadows that these flames would cast dear. You often said that you weren't our equal, but I've always believed you. Wait. Is that the old witch? Yeah. You often said that you weren't our equal, but I've always believed you to be the cutest, most powerful witch among us. You often said that you left little behind, but the stories you left to us hold countless worlds. Even should 100 years pass, or 1,000, or even if the apocalypse that a certain astrologer which worried about comes. Even if all the long-lived witches die, the little light that emanates from these little worlds will not grow dim. That's right. You were the greatest great witch, far greater than us all. Wait, what? No, that was not the old witch speaking. It was still the young witch. Okay, I'm sorry. You often said that you weren't our equal, but I've always believed you to be the cutest, most powerful witch among us. You often said that you left little behind, but the stories you left to us hold countless worlds. Even should 100 years pass, or 1,000, even if the apocalypse that a certain astrologer witch worried about comes. Even if all the long-lived witches die, the little light that emanates from these little worlds will not grow dim. That's right. You were the greatest great witch, far greater than us all. I miss you. Farewell. The old witch did not respond, for all that was left here was but an empty husk, no different from the many others that the little witch had encountered in her adventures. Indeed, they were even made of the same basic material, with the only difference between those and this being the minuscule light of a flame. And so, the little witch took the flame that was burning the old witch and set out on her homeward journey. Anyway, let's stop the story here. The little witch's adventures would continue though, for she had already decided to bring the old witch's fire across the universe, to light every last corner of time. That's the death of M. The old witch is definitely M. I bet that M is the one that wrote the first part. This was definitely written by Nicole, and I am absolutely certain that the very confusing and disturbing Volume 3 was written by Ryandotter. Very cool, very cool. They're referencing so many things that now we have actually seen in game, like the different witches, what M was actually doing until the end of her life, and how truly important her stories actually were, and so much more. Okay, this was awesome, absolutely awesome. I can't believe I took so much time to actually read it for the first time. Okay. There is one more that... Yes. Oh my... This one is also very long. Okay, but it's not... The volumes are very short. Okay, that's fine then. Okay. Let me see. What time is it? Okay. This is the other book from Imaginarium Theater. Okay. Let's begin with Volume 1. Sorry. My voice is getting a bit bad. There we go. On an afternoon, much like many others, Perrault, I think that's how you read his name. Perrault let out an extended yawn and was rubbing his eyes when he suddenly caught sight of a golden invitation lying silently in the flower bed. Sunlight illuminated the card's cover, and the words emblazoned upon it, "To Monsieur Perrault," shone brighter than scattered mora. His eyes widened. He was but the humblest of bellboys, greeting every visitor who came calling at the master's door with a respectful "Monsieur" or "Madame." This was the first time anyone had ever addressed him so politely as Monsieur Perrault. Who left it here? And without him ever noticing too? He blinked a few times, then blinked again, confirming over and over that it was not some iridescent trick of the light. Then he opened the invitation. "We are deeply grateful for the deliciousness you provided for us. Please do us the humor of paging us a visit. Yours, the feline firm." The crooked lettering seemed as though it had been written with the coarsest of quill pens and was utterly unsuited to the golden cover of the card. "Oh, Waffle, your Genshin crashed. It's been happening to me all the time. It's awful. I don't know what's the problem with mine. I don't know if you have the same problem, but it's awful." Okay, let's continue. Feline firm? Was there really some kind of firm named Feline? It couldn't really be an agency started by cats, right? Perrault did often feed the stray cats on the street with leftovers. Just go out, kitty, 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 and the cats would come running right over. However, without any food on offer, the cats would be quite cautious, even around Perrault. With that in mind, Perrault flipped the invitation over to look at the back. "Perhaps you are unfamiliar with our agency's location. At the 12th turning of the at the 12th turning of the north wind." Wait, this is part of the letter. "Perhaps you are unfamiliar with our agency's location. At the 12th turning of the north wind, follow the fish scales forward, and you will see a row of carriages. After the 10th chiming of the bells, there will be but one carriage left over. Jump into the shadows beneath it. We will be waiting there." Giving the time and location like that, was this some kind of nonsensical magic? Maybe someone was pranking him? Still, all the typos littered throughout the letter, and the special attention to fish scales really did make it seem like a cat. That is, if cats could write and really had their own offices. North wind, fish scales, carriages. Alright, during the day, fishmongers set up their stalls 12 blocks south from where he was, and did the rubbish collection carriages not come every night at 10 o'clock and stop there? They would take the massive heaps of trash generated in the city over the entire day outside, and then, at 12, they'd come back, clickety-clack. Yes, this must be the language magic of cats. Only someone like Perrault, who understood cats as well as he understood the city, and understood the city as well as he understood its cats, could decipher it. Perrault's heart began to pound, for this was a secret known only to him. When it's time to change shifts, better hurry. Me? I've got an appointment to keep with the cats. Okay, this is already awesome. Okay. Volume 2. You're here. Please, have a seat. The cats were quite happy. Yeah, it sure wasn't easy finding your offices. That night, Perrault had followed the directions given in the invitation, looking, searching. As it turned out, there was a single carriage among the trash carriages with a broken wheel that was always parked in place. Beneath it, he had found a dark hole that had merged with the shadows, with faint light and indistinct sounds coming from within, as well as a spiral staircase descending downward. And this was the well-hidden feline farm. This is the nature of strays. Please try to understand. Golden eyes narrowed. The cat with stripes like those of a tiger seemed to speak humbly, yet its tail was arched most proudly. Perrault recognized it immediately. This fellow would often laze about upon the master's windowsill, languidly swishing his tail. As for the others, Perrault was not quite so familiar. The tiger-striped tabby cat introduced each of them. The boss cat, none other than the tabby himself. The enforcer, the cat to the left with a full sleeve tattoo. The calico to the right was quite clever. The letter to Perrault had been written by a brush fashioned from hairs pulled from every cat, and written by this very calico. And then there is this firewood cat too, bit ugly and mangy, missing some fur, but don't even think about underestimating her. These were the very cats that comprised the feline farm, which solved the problems that perplexed the cats of the city. In that case, just what difficulties has the feline farm resolved? Perrault asked curiously. The tabby's tail twitched to the left, and the cat with the full sleeve came forward. I'm the muscle here, see? The full sleeve they call me, yeah? Our boss Norziwa over there, he gives me commissions. And I'm the one that sews them, see? That cat boss, he opened up a right big fancy hotel, yeah? Every bit as tip-top as what the humans got. When it first opened was tons of customers to be had. The cats even had their own grand hotel. Perrault nearly reached for his notebook to write it all down. Even Perrault had only passed by the door, peering inside with envy. That feeling was like picking up a candy wrapper as a child and being unable to stop himself from licking it. But what wouldn't you know? Boss snoring was so roaring loud, the customers couldn't even catch a single wink. Business took a dive, see? And one day, a horde of rats showed up and started biting them customers' things and whatnot, yeah? Then boss showed them what for. Was the hero, huh? After that, whenever customers heard his snores, they'd always be at peace and say, "Good kitty, good kitty." But you see, That hotel didn't have any rats in the first place, yeah? It was all me. Catching them at night and bringing them back. Then catching them again, you follow? No! No, they cheated so hard. Of course. No surprises. Interesting though, this is the second time in which I see rats referenced. And I don't know if you remember, but the previous time, I mean, it was not really a previous time because it happens after these books are released, but the other time it's in the Kuvaki Experimental Design Bureau in Not Cry. That's where rats are referenced as well. And I think the rats there were going after the proof of the cognoscenti. So very interesting. Here the rats are not really steering trouble, but being manipulated. Interesting. I don't think it's connected. Just interesting to see the use of the same thing. Anyway. Volume 4. My help? Perrault's eyes widened once more. The tabby solemnly nodded. And it must be you, and none other. In the house of the master you serve, there is a long-haired cat, is there not? Ah, that snow-white, noble-looking long hair. It was well known to Perrault that the master adored that cat, and it was as precious to him as life itself. Her sea-green eyes, like those of a princess of yore, were oft looking askance at people as she carefully groomed herself from whisker to tail, with her peach-pink tongue, like a heron preening its feathers by the water. Whether taking his meals, his rest, or out on appointments, the master always kept that cat by his side. As for me, I am going to get married to the long-haired cat. It's already been settled. Oh, married? That's... what? Married? In a whiskers twitch, Perrault became even more flustered than the firewood cat. Then how will you live together? Cats like her aren't the type to live like strays, you know. You needn't worry about that. After we're wed, we shall move to a shrine in a faraway land. I have heard that it is a cat shrine, and the people there worship cats like gods. And thus, we shall worry for neither food nor drink. But that simply won't do. The master will never let his long hair leave. Perrault continued to stammer out of his response. So, Monsieur Perrault, that is precisely why we need you. The tabby jumped onto the cabinet, his golden eyes fixed on Perrault. But I'm not but I'm no respected gentleman, only a lowly bellboy. Perrault kept waving his hands about together. If I were to steal his cat, if the master knew, not only would I lose my job, I would certainly be taken to court. No, you misunderstand, Monsieur Perrault. The tabby showed a mysterious grin, the whiskers around its mouth trembling in the semblance of a smile. We were never considering asking you to steal, good sir. Cats are magical creatures, and we have other ways." Having spoken, the tabby whistled, and the faux sleeve and calico cats pulled out a pair of boots and a mask respectively, as if by magic. "These are magical cat boots and a mysterious cat mask. Come now, try them on." Perrault had no choice but to take the treasures. But wait, though the boots seemed small, the moment he put them on, they became comfortable and fit snugly. And as he walked, he felt so light, as if he were tiptoeing. Putting on the mask, he tried to open his mouth to speak, but now some long, difficult-to-distinguishable trills accompanied the sound, and it sounded nothing like his own voice. "This is cat magic," the tabby cheerfully said. "As long as you wear these two items, none will recognize you. All you need to do is go home as always and have yourself a good night's sleep. After 3 days, bring the long-haired cat and your master both to the feline firm in accordance with our instructions. Remember, 3 days hence. You mustn't forget." He's going to steal the cat? No! It starts to sound like Reed Miller. Reed Miller who stole the princess, right? Okay. Oh my, volume 5. There are 8 volumes of just cat stealing? Seriously? Okay. Volume 5. My voice is dying. Volume 5. A new invitation was sent, this one to the master. "Master Baron, long have we heard of your esteemed cat. I also have a valuable and exotic cat, and hope that we may bond over our mutually shared appreciation for the feline race. It would be my great honor if you would do me the pleasure of calling upon my home, such that we might discuss such things in person. A carriage will take you and your cat there at the appointed time. Lady von Frigga." Thanks to Perrault's guidance, the calico carefully corrected the typos. And then, the cats got to work. Many cats who had once been recipients of the firm's assistance came to help, bringing white satin, nearly expired cans of snapper fish, wines, all to turn the agency into a wedding venue. Any passing by at night would be struck pale with fright to see so many stray cats passing by in the shadows of the city. The broken carriage was quietly repaired and decorated like a gorgeous carriage straight out of a fairy tale, with soft swan feather pillows and the sort of wind chimes cats adore hanging from it ringing all the way. It arrived at the master's stoop. "Please, if you would, sir." Perrault respectfully addressed his master with bowed head, acting as Lady von Frigga's coachman. Though he was wearing the mysterious cat mask, Perrault could not help but feel nervous, as though he'd done something wrong, as though he had done something to give the whole game away. Fortunately, the master had a mind only for the luxurious carriage, even tipping the coachman a bag of mora. A small token here. All along the way, cats crossed before the coach. Step aside, make way. Wait, what? Step aside, make way, whispered Perrault from beneath the mask, for he feared being late. Sorry, but we're in a hurry too. We have a wedding to attend, replied the cats. When there were finally no more cats crossing, they had already arrived at the feline farm. Oh, such a rare and expensive silk, and the whole hall is covered in it, gushed the master, bursting with admiration. The ham and vegetable bake tastes quite good, and the chef must be the real deal too. And so many cats. I'm astonished. Lady von Frigga is so considerate. The must truly dote on her own exotic cat, just like I love my long hair. The master could simply not stop effusing praise. Such a wonderful event. Come, have a drink, and another. The calico raised a cup of wine, urging the master to drink more. Then I'll have another. The master was in a great mood, and tipsy enough that he forgot to ask himself, can cats even speak? He fell right into their trap, and so easily. Volume 6. The long-haired cat entered, in step with the harp music. Oh, you little rascal! The moment we stepped off the carriage, you upped and vanished. Turns out you were off tidying up. The master was glowing with pride, even as he rebuked his cat. The white satin trailing from the long hair was overflowing with flowers. Pure white Cecilias, like snow falling on a spring day. Clap, clap! The cats began to applaud in unison. So beautiful! Perrault put down his knife and fork without even realizing it. Swoosh! Whoosh! The cats lifted the curtains. The tabby cat had put on a bow tie and top hat, and his whiskers and the fur upon his ears was neatly trimmed. He walked towards her with the solemn steps of a knight, welcoming his bride. The faux-sleeve cat behind him swiftly shook out the bag he had shouldered, and within were gifts for the cat couple. Colorful balls of thread, toy mice that squeaked when played with, and a finch-shaped balloon, as well as the long-prepared boat tickets to a cat shrine in a faraway nation. Wait! A cold, harsh voice came from above, interrupting the cat's cheerful revelry. The master had sobered up slightly and stood up swaying. He pointed his finger at the tabby. This lout! Isn't he the stray, always lying about on my windowsill? I know you, always leering inside, and always up to no good. Didn't the invitation mention a precious exotic cat? And where is Lady von Frigga? These cat toys. Hey, aren't these from my house? When did you lot steal them? And all this silken wine. Oh, stolen too, I presume. Daddy, please don't get angry, The long-haired cat quickly began to pout. Yes, Daddy, I'll take care of, the tabby said dismissively. Hearing Daddy twice like that infuriated the master. You shut your dirty mouth! How could some random stray from Archon knows where, with an impure bloodline, possibly be worthy of marrying my long hair? And you, the scoundrel calling himself the coachman of Lady von Frigga. You were in cahoots with this gaggle of strays, helping them with their little scam, aren't you? Let me see just who's hiding under that mask. The master stalked towards Perrault and was about to wrench the mask off his face. Oh, the blood in Perrault's body seemed to drain, as though it had been siphoned by some powerful magnet. Run! Run! A host of voices echoed in his ear, and his heart beat like drum. Yet his legs were stiff and wouldn't move even a single step. It's over. I'm done for. Perrault covered his eyes in despair. But just as he did so, he glimpsed something that seemed to be on his cheeks, that seemed to be shaking like trembling hairs. Ah! Snow-white whiskers had grown on his cheeks. But it was no old man's whiskers, but those of a cat. He twitched his ears and found they were pointy and quick. He subconsciously arched his back and let out a meow. Just before he would have been caught by the master, he agilely fled under the table. I knew it. The moment they talked about a mask that would definitely protect him, it had to be a mask that would turn him into a cat. Sooner or later that had to happen. Okay. Volume 7. Run! Run! Perrault was like a gust of wind in a black cloak. Sorry. Perrault was like a gust of wind in a black cloak. Run! Run! Following the spiral staircase upward, he ran toward the feline firm's exit. Just where did those magical cat boots go? Perrault knew not. All he did know was that he ran as swiftly, as agilely as a cat. And he also saw the world from below like a cat. Where did the mysterious cat mask go? The answer gradually became clear to Perrault. The boots and mask had become a part of him, or rather, he had become a cat. As he had been wearing the coachman's white gloves, he was now a piebald cat. Run! Run! Who was saying that? Perrault tilted his head, and the tabby with his bow tie and the long hair with white satin trailing her were beside him, running one behind the other. Run! Run, Monsieur Perrault! Please! Drive us to the port on that carriage! Behind them, cats were jumping up and down, tearing off the decorative ribbons. The wine and salad upon the banquet table had been knocked over, and the entire mess had stopped the master in his tracks. My long hair! Come back! None heeded the master's cries. With things being as they were, all he could do was take the tabby and the long hair to the port safely. Perrault simply couldn't deal with anything else. And besides, cats have small paws, so they can only handle one thing at a time. Pitter-patter, plip-plop! It began to rain outside, and lightning flashed. In the pitch-black night, there was but a brief moment of illumination before the rumble of thunder rolled in. and only that one small door was still open, without a single guard. They were probably hiding from the rain. Countless whirlpools swirled upon the surface of the lake, upon which the ship was docked. If you didn't look too carefully, you might think it but a shadow of the bridge. But for Perrault, who now had the exceptional vision of a cat, it was immediately apparent. Holding the wedding gifts from the false leaf cat, the tabby grabbed the long hair and jumped from the carriage, swishing through the air and onto the boat in an instant. "It's all thanks to you, Monsieur Perrault." The tabby gave a rare show of respect, genuinely bowing. "Now away, ere the master catches up. Go, go, go to that cat shrine. Go, go, live a life of joy." Moved by having accomplished something so great in secret, tears began to flow from Perrault's eyes, though he still didn't know just how he was going to live as a cat. "That's so tragic. He just wanted, well, he was tricked into helping them, to be honest. But he helped them and now he's a cat." Volume 8. Awakened by the blinding sunlight, Perrault opened his eyes and subconsciously began to rub them. His hands and feet were back. They were no longer furry cat's paws. What happened last night? He tried his best to remember. The piebald Perrault had turned the carriage around and come back with a clickety-clack. The clock then had not yet chimed 12 times. Before the other carriages had returned, he had leapt off like any other cat might, and gone back inside the house without anyone noticing. So now, blast! If the sun was that high in the sky, he should have started his shift already. He bounced up from the bed and put his uniform back on, becoming the bellboy Perrault once more. Yet the great door to the master's manse was shut tight, and the hanging sign read, "No visitors." The cat's gone, and the master is so distraught he's taken ill and collapsed. Such a beautiful cat. Even I liked it when I saw it. No wonder thieves set their sights on it. Poor thing. Could anyone ever treat it as well as our master? So whispered the master's servants in secret. Looks like the master didn't need a bellboy on duty today. Perrault had gotten a rare day off, but he was still deeply worried. So where did he go? The feline farm. That night, and for many nights more, Perrault returned to where the trash carting carriages stopped and checked the shadows under every lamp, but never saw any dark entrance to a cellar. The boots and mask, too, were gone. It was just as though no magic had ever occurred, and Perrault had never met any talking cats. Perhaps, as the tabby cat boss had left, the feline firm had been made to disband. The illness plagued the master for 3 months, until one summer morning he suddenly recovered. The sound of the master's humming emanated from his bedroom. It was a lively, happy song, the kind of song youths love to sing when inviting a partner to dance. "Perrault, come here." The master waved to him. Ba-boom, ba-boom. Perrault's heart began to pound nervously once more. It couldn't be that. "This suit of mine is already quite worn. Dispose of it and purchase a new one for me. As for the style, Something fashionable will do. The master spoke kindly. Oh, Perrault relaxed and walked out holding the old suit. Though, isn't the master the really old-fashioned conservative type? Perrault and the other servants were all thinking the same thing. A piece of paper fell from the pocket of the suit. After the tabby had left, the other cats had written a letter to the master, masquerading as the long hair writing to report she was safe and sound. Daddy, I'm fine. I've attached some dried fish and mouse jerky. Please enjoy. And also, the Lady von Frigga who proposed is a real person, and she has feelings for you, Daddy. You should find someone too. No. This guy, he wants a new coat because he thinks someone likes him. No. They stole his cat, and now they're rubbing salt in the wound. Honestly, what's with those evil cats? Okay. Still, that was 2 books with 7 or 8 volumes, and my voice is completely dying, to be honest. Okay. It's only been an hour and a half. Oh no, I should do something. Okay, I have definitely read as much as I want to. But another thing that I haven't been doing in a very long time is that I haven't been doing the anecdotes here. So I guess I should do at least one today. My voice is dead. Completely dead. Okay. Anecdote. Aidehara Kazuha at the Sea of Clouds, Liyue. An itinerant swordsman is exploring his poetic expression on the outskirts of Liyue. Okay. Let's go. A bit of a break. Oh no, it's not voiced. The grass did spring and sprout anew, and heaven and earth both verdant grew. After the rain, the wind blows gently, and the clouds are light. Looking out over the horizon, one's heart is opened wide. And then, should one happen to meet an old friend, well, there could be no better day than this, wouldn't you agree? Wait, that was it? Oh, I thought it would be so much more. Okay. And gazing at sky and earth, you come across Kazuha searching for his poetic muse in the mountains to the south of Gwili Plains. A chance meeting with old friends is a delightful affair. Is life not full of such fortuitous encounters? Okay, perfect. And nothing more. That's so sad. Very sad. I don't want to read a ton of other things today. It's already so late. What should I do?
Let us have a modicum of patience for the richness and complexity of...
Yes, yes, I understand. You want a modicum of richness. Okay, let's see. I have explored quite... Oh, wait. Her, the overseer of the goods and supplies. Should I go to her? Oh, actually, you know what I haven't done this week? Wait, I think this week I forgot to buy the things for catching animals. Maybe tomorrow I should go and catch all the animals in Notcry. Yes. Oh, I have not bought them. Perfect. I bet there aren't more than 25 animals in Notcry. No, 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 not this. This one. Let me see. Okay. Brown deer. This is still in Natlan, right? Okay, I'll have to find all the animals tomorrow. I can... Oh! No, this is impossible. Yeah. I thought it would only show me the ones I can catch. And I was like, oh, I can catch a frostfin whale? But I can't, which is very sad. Okay. Oh, I have unlocked a few more. I read quite a few days ago. Last batch I read a lot of these. But I have managed to unlock a few more. Okay, I'll get to that as well at some point. But for now, the other thing I should do actually is... Wait, what? I should go check my teapot. There are lots of things to read through there, and I haven't been doing anything recently. Oh, Setos, forgot I put you here.
Maybe you're not...
Okay. Yep, let's give Setos... Oh, friendship level 1, perfect. And... Okay, perfect. Boo? Waffle, why do you say boo to me? What have I done? I haven't done anything bad. Wait. Teapot. Furnishing. Item, I guess. Profitable fruit stand. An outdoor furnishing. Building mercantile. Oh, you definitely spooked me, Waffle. The common fruit stand with a blue roof. To the everyday folks of Mondstadt, blue represents calm. In Liyue, the same color has traditionally come to symbolize peace and stability. Of course, neither the roof nor its color has any bearing on the freshness of the fruit. That's down to the shopkeeper. Stars obtained from World Quest. Perfect. And I've already read through all of these. Let's create this one. I have only one that I can create, right? What is this? Oh, I have to buy lots of things. Okay.
If you ever have...
Okay. I have this. I actually haven't been reading... Oof. Okay. Since I don't have any plans for today other than those books, I should do these things quickly. No, they will give me many things to read. Okay, I don't want to do it today. Yeah, I don't want to. This is too much. This is too much. It's not for today. Oh, but I can do this.
Everything's ready. Let's go.
Let's get Kole. Curtain of Leaves. The forest ranger from Sumeru, Kole, seems to be in a bit of a pickle. Somewhere deep in the rainforest, a reckless researcher from the academia has activated a secretly developed machine to break into a huge spiraling set of ruins. Kole, investigating nearby, wound up being caught up in the incident and has lost contact with the outside world. Though her skills and her survival techniques should allow her to escape on her own, her master and friends are worried for her safety nonetheless. So please, would you take a quick gander in there to search for her? Yay! I already have her.
Everything's ready.
Okay, and the other thing I really want to read is actually this one.
People ought not be so frightened of ghosts. They are merely talking shadows, chattering away endlessly about their past affairs.
Okay, Super Heavy Land Rover, a new type of war machine jointly developed by the Armory Palace and the Kuvaki Experimental Design Bureau, equipped with multiple heavy weapons. Whether its creators once intended, the iron behemoth now roars only for the Fatui and the will of Snezhnaya, using its massive frame to crush all who dare stand in the way of the approaching of the new world. Oh, it sounds so scary, but it's not. It was scary in the abyss, but other than that, it was fine. And the final thing, which will give me Primo Gems. Chapter. Draco Rubedo chapter, Durin's story quest. Fairy tales often end on a good note. Blessings will be offered and curses will be broken. Make a sincere wish and it will come true. Wield your sword with courage, and every foe shall fall. In the end, they lived happily ever after. But then what? Some readers can't help but ask. As a character born from the pages of a story, Durin sometimes finds himself facing the very question. His story seems to have reached a happy ending in Simulanka, yet he never knows where to start when trying to explain what happened afterward. If only he had his mother's magical touch with words. Perhaps then he could turn those experiences into another enchanting story of his own. Ah, there we go. All done. All of these things. Setos, I've already talked with you. My teapot is completely empty of everything, unfortunately. But it looks very serene. That's that. Okay. I think this is where I'll have to stop though. There is no point in starting something new right now because there isn't much time left.
Let us have a modicum.
I'll have to think very carefully about what to do tomorrow. On Friday is the event. I can't believe that the flagship event starts on Friday. Honestly, I'll be able to do only the first day. And then I can't play on Saturday and Sunday, so... so awful. But tomorrow... I am not sure. Maybe... Wait, where is it? This one.
It's been way too long since I
Woven
last
Wishes. I feel like I should do Ayaka's quest. Or maybe... go catch animals, as I said I would. those are my two options. I don't know which one would be better. Anyway, I'll be thinking about this and... Oh, Waffle, okay then. Then see you another time. Thank you for joining today. And yeah, I'm about to finish for today, so I would just say my goodbyes for today as well. Thank you everyone for watching, and see you another day. Bye bye.
He who wishes to peer into the abyss needs simply to wander through Nodcry on a misty night. The march of the wild hunt will be sure to drag him into the darkness.
Did something bad happen again?